Hello!
Ayo, 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 welcome back, season 2.
Season 2 of To Black
Black
Girl
girl
Still
still dreaming.
Dreaming. We are back. I know we've said we're back a few times, but guys, we have been going through it.
No, for
Um,
real. It's a revolution out here in Minneapolis.
yeah.
So, we had to take a little intermission to tap in, connect with our community members, make sure everybody's safe,
Yes.
and catch our breath.
Yeah, that part. Well, I was about to say, I think it's like obviously things have kind of been bad like before Operation Metro Surge and all of these things, like, but it's like obviously different now, and I think it takes a lot more out of us, like in terms of time and attention and
Capacity,
capacity
energy.
and emotion
Mhm.
too, and so, yeah, we were focused on that, and the our last episode that we released was kind of our, conclusion to our season 1 because it was, like, the end of the year, and then we were kinda
2025.
right, 2025, we're in 2026 now, almost through February, which feels crazy.
Yeah, the New Year's was just a month and a half ago.
Well, and, like, we everything kinda popped off in, like, the worst way, particularly in Minneapolis, very early on in the year. Like, it was like, "What the"
It was January, like, I think it was 6th or 7th,
Yeah,
the murder of Renee Good, and after that, like, the federal occupation just, like, started heating up.
yeah,
They started snatching our neighbors, and a lot of Minneapolis neighborhoods and groups started doing rapid response, started building blockades, started doing mutual aid.
yeah,
'Cause, government out here, I don't know, they might be on the news, but they have not been supporting people to stay housed or supporting folks to getting food or
yeah,
business relief, so a lot of that has fallen on the community,
yeah,
and that was, what, 6 days into the new year?
right,
So we out here making New Year, New Me vision boards, not even day 7, and we're out here buying whistles and gas masks, so it was a lot all at once, and
yeah,
we just didn't feel like it was the time to continue the pod at the moment, so this is us
yeah,
kind of slowly coming back into it.
yeah, and I think, like, with all of that being said, it's like we're coming back into it um, with all of that, right? Like, it's not
Mhm.
like, okay, like things are back to normal and we're just gonna like and I think well, and I think something you said, Faye, is like our podcast has never been devoid of like real life and
Mhm.
what's happening around us. Like that always impacts us, especially as Black women. And I
Mhm.
think for those listeners who identify with that, whether or not you're Black women, but especially if you're Black women, I think you know that you carry all of that with you as well. And so we just want to come back knowing that and knowing that like we are going to continue, chasing our dreams and those dreams include a better future for all of us and like
Mhm.
um a more liberated existence that isn't what it is right now. Cause y'all, I there's no like I don't know, there's no like eloquent way to say this, but like shit sucks right now, and I can say that because I am not, participating in Ramadan, so I can curse.
Yeah, you
Also, Ramadan Mubarak to all of our
yes,
Muslimas, um
Muslimanity.
Muslimanity,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ramadan Mubarak to my fellow Muslim brothers and sisters and nizams. We are day 2, no, day 3. Oh,
I
wow,
think yeah, wow,
day 3
already.
already. But yeah, Martha will be holding a lot of the cussing for me. So next 3 episodes will be very PG, but no, no, no. Um,
Well, and I will say, I mean, technically, it's funny because we had, Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. We had the
Black
start
History
of
Month.
Black History Month, the start of Lent, and the start of Ramadan. So, like, a lot of different, like, cultural and
Mhm.
religious traditions happening at once. And it's funny because like,
Spiritual alignment.
yeah, like, but I've never celebrated Lent. Like, my family never celebrated Lent. I grew up really Christian, and I guess I do still consider myself a Christian, but, obviously, how it is, it's complicated. But yeah, I've never celebrated Lent, but it's like, I feel like it's the Crystal Light version of Ramadan in
The
the sense
crystal
of, like
light.
because, like, Christians don't, like, fast the whole day a lot. I mean, some do.
You said no sugar vitamin water.
Right, but it is very much like, it's usually you fast something, like you give up like meat or you give up social
Mhm.
media or something, but Ramadan, y'all just fast everything.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, this is my first time participating in a few years, just 'cause a lot was going on, and I felt like we needed to some spiritual alignment, AKA I did. But yeah,
Real.
we, like, try to abstain from eating or drinking and cussing, withholding desire, no weed, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a hard one for
Mm,
me, no gossiping, so I had to stop watching Love Island.
mm,
But just, like, trying to not immediately remedy, like, the feeling of hunger or the feeling of, like, wanting water or, like, not immediately, like, going after your desires,
mm,
and, like, I don't know, for me, it's been really, like, eye-opening, especially too, like, I do a lot of housing justice work, and I know a lot of folks who, like, they can't immediately remedy, like, food needs,
mm,
they can't immediately remedy, like, having housing, like, desire is not really something that they could think about because 'cause they're out here surviving.
right.
And so it's just, I think, a nice regrounding and of being mindful and, like, being patient and learning.
Yeah.
And I also just think too, like, as Minneapolis is, like, doing this relief effort right now, like, we're trying to, like, recover our small businesses, recover from, like, people back paying in rent, like, food, mutual aid. Like, I
Mhm,
think there's a spiritual relief too, so I don't know
mm.
what's in the air, all of them
Yeah,
lining up, but I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy to be sharing some of that lived experience on the pod.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
season 2.
yeah, season 2, it's really exciting. It feels like I actually like that our, kind of season ended at the end of the year, and then we kind of start this new year with the new season, and, like, obviously, right, a lot of personal changes, but something that
Mhm.
you said, and I think it came up in a conversation, in, like, an organizing space that we were in together, w where somebody mentioned, like, what's the word? I guess the tendency for people to want to immediately escape discomfort.
Oh, yes.
And it related it, like, so perfectly to what you were saying about Ramadan and, like, having to sit with your discomfort. And so I think yeah, so essentially this person was talking about, like, whether it's, like, meeting your neighbors or, like, pushing through, the hard things to really get to a place of, like, organizing with the people around you and, like, working towards, like, that long-term liberatory change, that oftentimes we do have to be uncomfortable, like, conversations have to be uncomfortable, we have to, like, talk to people we might normally not talk to, we have
Mhm.
to, like, work with people that we might not fully, like, agree with, and that doesn't mean, like, people who, like, don't believe you deserve human
Human rights.
rights,
No,
to be
exactly.
clear, because I know people are like, "Oh, we have to talk to people, like, across the way."
Nah, nah,
No, that's not what
nah.
I mean.
Nah,
Like,
it
do not
means talking to your uncle that doesn't believe in, like, the earth being round, but
right.
he believes that we all deserve liberation, you know?
Right, or like yeah, exactly, or like, that relative that you roll your eyes every time they talk, like that old head, but
Yeah,
they hold knowledge and, like, you both
wisdom.
have in wisdom and you both have things to learn from one another, like that kinda thing, right? But I think there's something that I've been reflecting on too about, like, allowing yourself to be uncomfortable and, like, knowing what discomfort is telling you because sometimes there is discomfort that's telling you, like, this is not a good environment for you. Like, I think about,
Mhm.
like, being in a toxic job and, like,
Oh, yes,
knowing
free you.
knowing that, like, that discomfort is coming from a place of, like, you sh you deserve better and, like, you shouldn't have to deal with this, but also, like, I gotta pay my bills, so Imma be there till I'm not, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
No, I can, add some stuff on there.
yeah.
No, I think, like, to summarize it, like, especially at that meeting, I think that person really did a great job of, like, not only, like, being like, it's okay to be uncomfortable and to move through that and to organize through that and to, like, actually, like, create change, but I also think a lot of our societal problems are coming from, like, comfort, easy access to things,
Mm.
like, quick do you want me to hold up?
No, no, it's okay.
Okay, we're sharing a mic, guys. Um, but quick access to things, and I think, like, when you become such a consumer
Mm,
and you, like, don't value the way things get produced, where they come from, like, the land, you don't have a relationship
mm,
with the land, you don't have the relationship with the people, the workers who are being exploited to get you
mhm,
this product. Like,
mhm,
it's really easy for, like, oppression to, like, go grand scale,
Yes.
and I feel like we really felt that in Minneapolis of, like, all these companies, like, Amazon, Disney, they're out here funding, like, our occupation,
Right.
and, like, don't quote me on the specific companies, but I'm 100% sure it's those
Sure,
people.
but, like, large corporations,
Corporations.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no corporate accountability, like, the community is holding the pain. We're GoFunding our way out of, like, literal oppression,
Yeah, it's
which is not
insane.
right.
It's insane. We should not have GoFundMes to, like, survive when, like, we have governments that have billions of dollars that they're using to actively oppress us. Like,
From
that's
our
just
tax
insane.
dollars.
From the money that we pay! Like, it's just crazy. And I think to that note, like, ugh, you brought up, like, the word consumer, and, like, this has been my
Capitalism, baby.
like, capitalism thrives on us having a disconnect from, like, the people who produce the goods that we, like, use and, like, the land that produces the goods that we use and all of these things. Like, it thrives off of us not having a relationship with those things
Or each other.
or each other, and I think it's so like, the consumerism I mean, even, like, in a different setting, but, or a different time, but same setting of that organizing space, like, a young person mentioning, like, you know, people my age just, like, don't care about anything, like, they're just kind of, like, you know,
Desensitized.
desensitized, and I think that's by design. I think it's really easy to, like, for corporations and, like, our governments to be like, "Oh, well, let's just, keep people focused on the next trend or TikTok
Yeah.
dance or iPhone
Mhm.
a billion."
Let's memify oppression so it's
Right.
consumable and you won't care as much.
Right, exactly, and so it just, like I think it's really important that we sit with and that's another thing too, like, sit with the discomfort of this moment, like, things are really bad in a lot of places, like, things are really bad in Minneapolis, things are really bad in Puerto Rico, things are really bad in Hawaii, like,
Venezuela,
things are really bad in Venezuela, things are really bad in Palestine, things are really bad in,
Somalia.
Somalia, like, all of the like, you don't have to hold all of that at once, but be able to sit with it because the minute that you're, like, constantly
Desensitized.
trying to desensitize yourself is the minute that you make it easier to say, like, "That doesn't really affect me, and, what can I do about that?" And when people, like, can't escape that, I don't know. I think it's also an act
Mhm.
of empathy to sit
And
with discomfort
humanity.
and humanity,
'Cause it's
absolutely.
like the second you disconnect from those things, like and I feel like especially this year, like being from Minneapolis and seeing everything that's been happening, it's like I feel like all of that desensitization came to a head.
Mm,
And it, like I mean, not that it snuck up on us, but we didn't we weren't out here thinking mass agents would be out here pulling up to Cub or Target.
right.
And so I just urge folks to not be desensitized, to talk to their neighbors, to stay connected. Because one thing these past few weeks has taught me is that there is a lot more people out here that care and still have access to their humanity than
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
And things are really bad, but baby, we the global majority.
Right.
We run this country, we run this world, the exploited class. The exploited class are the people who literally maintain the wealth and the
Right.
functionality
I
of
mean,
these
it's the
corporations, governments,
99%,
and
like, we
businesses.
we are the 99%, like
Mhm.
and it's like when you really think about it in the context of that number of, like, we make up the majority, like, it's like the 1% might have what we see as money and the power and all these things, but, like, we are so many that there's a lot of power just in that.
And that's why they want us fighting, so don't. But anyway,
Right,
that's
right,
enough, that's a
right.
I just wanted to recenter us in, like, this is where we've been, this is what we've been doing. We've been mutual aiding, we've been running some grassroots organizing in our community to protect ourselves, and we decided that our podcast is rooted in reality. So I wanted to come back for season 2 and just kinda tell you where we're at
Mhm.
and where we're going. We have some really cool things coming up. We're gonna be starting a space for, folks to connect who specifically, like, Black women. Well, actually, do we
Well, it's, so yeah, we were kind of envisioning it as like a Black femme-centered space,
yes,
um, Black gender expansive space, but, if you are not of that demographic and
you're
you
welcome.
you you are welcome, just be cognizant of, like, it's not a space that centers you, and we really want to and the reason for that, right, I think most of you who are listening to this can understand why we, want to name that, but just to be, crystal clear, the reason for that is that our society at large doesn't have spaces that really work to build up Black women and
Mhm.
Black femmes and, give them the space to be themselves unencumbered and just, like, work together and learn together and grow together, and so we that was partially our intention with this podcast, and so, um but we know that there are people that enjoy and learn and laugh with us,
Not fall into
that don't
that.
have that identity, and so, yeah, but we just, you just come correct, because like, we have so few spaces, so,
Exactly.
like
Yes, and the point is we're gonna have a virtual kickback once a month. We're gonna connect, and depending on how it goes, we'll probably start an in-person kickback in the summer. But we just wanna come invite you to be in space with us because the most healing thing for us this past year has been being in space with community,
Yeah,
sharing a meal together, doing food and fellowship and connecting and just sharing, like, space, and
yeah,
that's felt like heart food, so we just
yeah,
wanna replicate that and offer that because we know a lot of you are not from Minnesota or not from Minneapolis, but still crave that connection, so,
mhm,
yeah, come to our virtual kickback, we'll post a flyer on our Instagram,
yeah.
and we'll send a Zoom link.
Yeah, our Instagram at Black Girls Dream Pod. All the links we'll put in the description and stuff. But yeah, more information to come on that. We're really excited because yeah, like Faye said, I think we have felt really grounded and honestly like kept sane by being in community with not only one another, but other people of color and other like-minded folks. And so yeah, I'm really excited for that. And um just kind of creating more spaces like that. I think the other thing I was thinking about, kind of related to our past conversation, is and this relates to
Mhm.
a few things, but I'm thinking about how do you, Faye,
Yes.
kind of
Okay.
kind of suggest that people
Mhm.
um, when we say talk to your neighbors or like build community, I
Mhm.
think we say that a lot. Like we say like, we talk about the power of community a lot. And I
Mhm.
just want to like kind of ask you like what does that mean to you? What suggestions do you have for people? Um and obviously knowing that that's looked different over time. I mean, we've known each other a couple years.
Mhm.
And I think the way that I
Which crazy how we met,
I
LOL.
know, but it literally and part of that is, like, I think the advice I would give as part of that is, like, you have to leave your house.
Yes.
Because, I mean, we met in the most random way just because we both went to a thing.
Yes, our Muslim friend who doesn't drink wine hosted a wine tasting, and that's how we met, and now we're besties,
Yeah,
which funny, but also shout out A, we love you.
yeah,
But okay, sorry, the question
yeah,
was how do you suggest people be in community and talk to their neighbors, and what does community mean to me? Is that correct?
yeah, yeah, essentially. Any and all parts of that you want to
Answer.
yeah.
Okay, yes. Wow, very interview-like, I like. Um, I think community for me is just connecting and knowing each other and witnessing each other,
Mm,
and I think especially in this moment, post, I can't even believe I'm saying post Renee Good because it just happened.
mm,
But, like, being there for each other, like, in the truest form that possible, because
mm,
showing up is a powerful tool. Like, there's this, Instagram person I follow, Dr. Amber, and they were like, "Babe, you gotta show up through your social anxiety, like, you have to be
mm,
there." And so I think that's what community means, showing up and seeing each other and really listening and, like, being there, being present. The way I suggest you link up with your neighbors, literally, if it's safe to do so in your block, depending on where you are, because everywhere's different, like, literally, like, go knock on your neighbor's door. If you see someone you relate to, like, I particularly like to talk to Black women in my neighborhood because I'm like, I feel a kinship to you, and I just introduce myself and I let them know, like, "Hey, my name is Faye. I live on this block. I'm a Southsider. I'm an organizer. I would love to grab coffee. I would love to connect." A lot of people do kickbacks, like, I know my family, like, every time we gather, it's around food, and
mm,
we, like, invite people 'cause everybody needs a hot meal,
mhm,
and so I would just suggest, like, just introducing yourself and creating that familiarity, one conversation at a time.
mhm,
And just going from there or go to community meetings. Like, I've met so many people at open mics, I've met people at organizing meetings. I literally met one of my good friends at a bowling alley just because I was going to the back room for a comedy show. I wasn't even going to the bowling game. I just literally saw her. And so, yeah, leave your house, introduce yourself, and follow up,
Yeah,
follow up, follow up. Things die if you don't water them. You can only plant seeds. Seeds only grow when you water them.
exactly. Yeah,
But, yeah, what about you, Martha? My question to you is,
yeah.
how do you suggest people connect with their neighbors? And during this time, what does storytelling mean to you?
Oh.
Yeah, because I know you're a storyteller, you're a writer, you're a cultural curator,
Oh, you're so
and
sweet.
I think your thoughts would be beneficial.
Yeah, so kind of what does community mean to me and then yeah, well, so I think community to me is like being able to I think I grew up feeling like I had to um like put on a certain version of myself for people to like me, which I don't think is uncommon for black girls that grew up in the suburbs. Um, but
Mhm.
like I think that I have found like the sense of belonging and like the feeling of healing in community when I am myself and however imperfect that is. Like even just last night, like I was in a community space and I was feeling awful and so I cried. And like people received me and then like by the end of it I was like laughing and smiling and I was fine. You know? And like
Yeah.
I think that
No, y'all, Martha pulled up, I was like, "Are you okay, bro?" And, like, we went into this one of my offices, this okay, we're, like, under construction, but this busted ass office with I cussed. Oh my god,
oh, it's
forgive I
okay.
ask for forgiveness. Sorry, God. Um, but yeah, y'all, Ramadan's hard. But yeah, we went to this busted office, and I was like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" And I was like, you don't have to be here, you can just exist." And sometimes, you just need community to catch you, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to you because that's your question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, it's okay.
I just wanted to offer that.
Yeah, and I so appreciate it, and I think part of the reason why I was able to even just, like, make a decision of, like, I do wanna stay and, like, I'm just gonna be what I need to be was because I know I had Faye there and, like, several other friends who were able to, like, hold me and, like, support me in that. So, like, if I did start crying, like, you helped me, like, not feel crazy about it. Um, but I think that for me, that's a big part of it is, like, being able to be yourself, and, I think when you're meeting new people and making new connections, like, trying to be as authentic as possible, even when it's difficult, and, like, I think that that lends to that feeling because 'cause you're not, like, putting on a show or, like, feeling like you have to, um, pretend to be someone you're not, or yeah, um, and then, like, to your point about storytelling, I think well, or were you sorry, that was the second part of your question, right?
Yeah, no, you're okay, it's two-parter, it's hard. Okay, one, I wanna respond to what you said, I really like that community held you, and, like, I remember someone asked a question of, like, what was it? You were, like, saying, "I'm a crash out," or something, or what
Oh,
was the
yes,
question?
but I think the question it was, like, a question posed to,
The
like,
group.
everyone in the space, about, like, what does it feel like to, like, not I don't think it was exactly this, but essentially, like, what does it feel like to not be held?
Yeah.
And I was like, "So, like you wanna crash out."
No, and
And
the moderator the person moderating didn't acknowledge it, and then someone from the back whispered, "I got you."
right, because I was like, "Dang, that's crazy, we're gonna act like I didn't say that?" I was like, "Oh, okay, so, like, I was vulnerable and now I feel crazy."
No,
Like
and then we all laughed together and then we started crying, and it was just so beautiful, and that's what community is about, feeling seen and
Yes.
held,
Yes.
and supported,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, the second question was, what does, like, storytelling mean to you in this time? Like, we have
Yeah.
a pod, I know you have stories for the movement, I wanted you to lift that up, and,
Yeah.
like, what
Yeah.
does it mean to capture existence, especially living in a time of, like, we're under occupation, we're 2 Black girls who are dreaming, also 2 Black girls in, like, very, like, public health oriented fields.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think for me, I feel like so the constant struggle that I think myself and maybe a lot of people go through is trying to be authentically committed to the movement and however that looks, like recognizing like we are in a moment that matters and you want to do something about it. But also and no shade, no tea, but there can be an element of posturing that you sometimes feel in like organizing spaces where people are like low key like using tragedy for clout. And it's less people than like people that are like genuinely trying to help.
Mhm.
And I think it can happen very like intentionally,
Mhm.
because people are trying to do good work, but they also are human and want to feel a sense of, like, relevancy and, like, they matter and that their life matters,
Yeah.
and I think that feeling is, like, not their fault, it's a byproduct of, like, existing in capitalism where, like, we feel like we have to prove ourselves and our worth to, like, be in a space. And that's why people talk about, like, you have to dismantle, like, white supremacy in every way, and I think that that is one of the ways that it shows up where we want to, like, center ourselves in something that is, like, really rooted in collective. And so I'm very cognizant of that because I know myself, and I know I have spent a lot of my life trying to prove that I'm worthy of being somewhere, that I have something to add, when, like, I don't I know in my head and my heart that I don't have to do that, but, old habits die hard, right? So,
Mm.
I think something that I was processing is, like, where do I fit in all of this? What really is my role? What's within my capacity? Like, I work an hour out of the city, like, 3 days a week, sometimes 4. So then it's like, okay, so during the weekday, like, I can't show up to press conferences. I can't do a lot of these things. Like, I can't, like, take time off of work because, like, I have, like a partner with chronic illness, and, there's just different considerations for me. And so as I was thinking about, like, what that looks like, I was like, well, I love to write, and I'm already kind of, like, processing on my own, like, what this current moment feels like, looks like, what I'm seeing. And I was like, wouldn't it be nice just to have a space where, like, people, especially people who don't necessarily see themselves as creatives or artists or whatever, but people who are just like, I'm seeing something and I want to contribute to something of, like, an archive of, like, straight up reporting kind of what's happening, but also, like, more expansive to, like, the art and the creativity that comes out of this time. Because I saw, somebody mention on Instagram lately, like, the Harlem Renaissance happened, like, during the Great Depression, right? And so, like, all of these really meaningful, like, things that we identify with now came out of really hard times. And so I was like, how do we create a space for that?
Mm.
And so I kind of started, and I wanna be clear, I'm probably not the only person doing this. I hope I'm not the last. I hope I'm not the only person doing this, right? But I just, like, was like, I want to see something and I haven't been able to see it, so let me just create it. And so I called it Stories from the Movement, and it is a Substack page, which, I mean, we talk about platforms all the time and, how they can be. I don't know if Substack's, like, the best one, but whatever. It works.
Honestly, it'll probably be the last one standing
Ugh, literally.
with the way these other platforms are selling out.
No, exactly.
But,
But yeah, so, stories from the movement.substack.com. Um, it's just been, it's like, maybe there's like 5 kind of articles, posts up there.
they're so good, y'all.
Um,
Like, she does such a good job of, like, capturing the organizing that's happening, the, like, videos and art, like, there's an animation on there that really captures, like, how community have come together, and, like, she adds a really good spin with her own voice, so I say check it out. I say add your own stories. I'll be
yes.
submitting poetry on there. Some other
Yes.
folks might be tapping in, so,
Yeah,
um,
thanks for that. Yeah,
of
I
course.
really do encourage people, if you are like, "I've never, like, published any writing anywhere, but I feel like I have something I wanna say," like,
Mhm,
we invite that. Like, I am just excited to hear people's voices, and, um, yeah, I've shared some personal pieces on there. I've shared some, like Faye mentioned, animation from an artist that I just, like, saw through Instagram that I was like, I messaged them and was like, "Hey, would you, like, wanna share? Like, this is
mhm.
what I'm doing." And so it's also been kind of going back to that question of, like, connection community. It's also been a way that I've connected with new people, um, because it creates, like, a template to say, like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing that you might be interested in." So it's been really great, and I'm just getting started, and yeah, I think, we kind of talk about, like, the different roles. I don't know what these hand motions, she's, like, giving me hand motions on this, I don't know what they
No,
mean.
I'm just like,
Um,
"Good, good."
but I think we talk about, like, what the different roles in the movement are. Like, we need, like, we need the disruptors, we need protesters, we need people who organize the strikes, we need the people who are telling the stories, we need the artists, like, um, We need the teachers, we need the mentors, we need the coaches, we need all of that, right? So, um,
Caretakers, medicine man.
yes, doulas.
Yes, but anyway, tap in,
Yeah.
lock in.
Yeah, okay. I want to talk a little bit about, camp. We just did camp a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
yes, we did camp, our BIPOC camp retreat. It's officially year 2 of us doing this,
Yeah.
so now it's an annual thing.
Yeah, and
Um,
Chad came this year.
yes, Chad came, Mr. Sykes, Martha's hubby. Guys, we low-key though, we may not be able to bring him again because he was ruthless in Monopoly,
Oh my goodness.
and it was my first time playing because 'cause I'm not a capitalist, I don't swing that way. And, like, I just felt my, like I just felt my aura, like, depleting, like, I kept losing money, I kept losing property, I didn't wanna evict anyone, I didn't wanna charge rent, and Chad what he kept saying? What he kept saying?
He said, "Scared
"Scared money
money
don't
don't
make
make money."
money." And I was like, "Oh my god, dude, like, it's game." And it went on for
It
4
it
hours.
was the long I
It
think it was the longest board game
it
I've
was
ever
I didn't
played.
realize Monopoly was 4 hours.
Well, I've never played like, honestly, I think my family, we tried to play it once, and I think we made it, like, an hour, and we were like, "We're over this."
Did
Um,
we play it wrong? Cause I didn't realize it was gonna be 4 hours.
no, it's, like, the longest like, I think it's supposed to be really long. I think there's a way you can make it shorter, but it took forever. I literally went bankrupt so I could go and take a nap.
No, girl, I watched you go through late stage capitalism and give up. And also, like, I'm a little salty because I was like, "So you're not gonna give your property to the homies? You're just gonna put it back on and you're gonna put it back on the market?"
I didn't want to take sides, and you were all
That's
asking for a lot of different things.
that's not how the community works.
I so we played so obviously you can hear we had a good time. We
I
played a
mean,
really yeah, right, debatable. We played a really intense game of Monopoly. We went snowshoeing for the first
oh
time.
my
That
god,
was
that was
super
so beautiful.
fun.
Y'all, we walked across a frozen lake, and the sky
Yeah.
was, like, pink, and it was really beautiful, and then we went snowshoeing the next day, and we just, like, kind of just, leisurely lounged,
Yeah.
and it was so cool. We kept falling, though,
Oh my gosh.
and, there's, if you look at, was it, Bear Lake? Like, Bearfish Lake?
Sure.
It was up by it was Bearfish Lake.
Yeah, Grand Marais, it's like a YMCA camp, and you
We
have
don't
to
gotta give them the location.
well, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but you I mean, that doesn't narrow it down. Grand Marais YMCA camp, they probably have a ton. But, like, you have to,
true.
like, walk across a frozen lake.
No, I always think when we're recording this is an aside, sorry guys. When we're recording podcasts, I'm like, what if someone in the future listens to it and they discover time travel and like we become important enough where like they time travel back to be like, let's get her while she's at camp.
That's
No,
crazy. That's insane. Is that really what you think?
obviously not. I don't think it's gonna happen. But like,
No, but I mean, like, you've thought this before? Like,
2016 was a weird time for me.
you know?
I was young, I was in high school. But anyway, so we went snowshoeing and it was just really beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you look at Bearfish Lake, I don't know if it's still there. There will be a huge butt print of my booty. Oh my god,
From falling.
from falling, but it was
Yeah,
so much fun.
it was fun.
And we went like cold plunging. They like carved
Oh,
out like a square in the frozen lake for us to like go into and then run back into the sauna
yeah,
and just go back and forth, back and forth. And it was just really beautiful to like connect with the land in that way after going through so much like all of January,
yeah,
being
yeah.
home.
Especially with other, like, people of color, like, I think
Yes,
that's the honestly, like, the best part of the trip. Like, because it
the
is, like,
company.
the company and, like, the way that, like, we all are, like, very different in a lot of ways, right? Like, BIPOC is such, like, a wide range of people,
So wide.
but I think, like, we all have this shared experience of, like, white people trying us on a day-to-day basis, and
No,
it's nice to
literally.
have a break from that in collective.
Yeah.
Um
It's nice just escaping the institution that is like committed to your downfall and
Right,
exploitation.
right.
And, and to do it in nature with other,
Mhm,
people of color, especially, land that has been, gate kept. I mean, literally, the
mhm,
Minnesota Senate is trying to legislate away protections for the boundary waters.
which is
No,
insane.
insane, during a time we're already, exciting, and it was just so beautiful to be on that lake, just be on that water, be on that frozen lake, like, hearing the heartbeat of the lake, like,
Mhm.
looking at the stars. You don't see stars like that in the city,
Yeah.
and, like, mind you, we're pretty up north, like, Minneapolis, Minnesota, like, we're pretty up there,
Right.
and we don't even see stars in the city like that because of all the pollution,
Yeah.
and, like, it just reminds me that, I don't know, cause the relationships with the people at camp just felt so much more wholesome, cause we were building those relationships, like, amongst the trees, amongst, like, undisturbed, like, land.
Yeah. I totally get that. I like that sentiment a lot. Like, it does make a difference when it's just, like you also feel more able to, like, be yourself. Like, I remember, um, we were outside and we were, like, all in a circle and we, like, started, like, doing, like,
Oh my god, with
shadow
puppet
puppets,
shows, yeah.
and we were just, like, playing, and I think somebody was like, "When was the last time we
We played,
played?"
and then
And
all
we
turn up
all
to,
got
like
quiet because we were like, "We literally don't know," like and I think just having those experiences are really nice. Like, I think especially as an adult, like, yes, we're still young, but it's like things get so serious so fast
Mhm.
where you're just like, "When was the last time I played?" Like,
I
and,
know. When
you
was the
know
last time you let your inner child out?
Right,
You existed.
right.
You like no, when we were making the shadow puppets, I was like, "Oh, oh my god," like throwback to Sesame Street, you
Right.
know?
And just, like yeah, like, giggling about, like, silly stuff and not feeling, like, weird about it because, like, everybody's, like, giggling with you.
At one point, we were in a circle, and we just, like, would have someone go in the middle, and we would just chant their name, and, like, I remember I was doing this, like, "Faye, Faye, 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 Faye," and then it was me, I was like, "Mia, Mia, 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 Mia," and, like, we were just all dancing, and it was the middle of the night, it was cold
I
as
don't
heck.
think we were playing any music either. We
We
were
were the
just
music.
dancing.
We were
Yeah.
literally the mu it felt like a cult a little
You
bit,
know,
but
well, someone walked up and they're like, "This is a cult." Like, and we're like, "No, we're just having fun." No, but it
Yeah,
was a really good time, and I think oh, we did, like,
acupuncture.
acupuncture, yoga. Yeah, I wanna make sauna, like, part of my, like, winter practice, like, I wanna do it often,
Yeah,
and, like,
that
cold
cold plunge.
plunge, yeah,
Mhm.
but, like, it's just I mean, money, you know?
Yeah,
That's the
I
thing.
mean, we could just cut up a hole in the lake
I don't think
and
we
grab
can
a ladder.
can we just do that?
Honestly, like,
Don't we have to, like, know things? Like, you can't just cut a hole in any part of the lake.
I mean, we'll be alright. Like, literally, we'll just YouTube it, or, I have some white friends I could ask, like,
That's the
there's
thing, someone's
some
gotta have an ice fishing hole that we can make big enough to stick our bodies in.
the ice sea.
Oh
No,
god.
no, but also, like, I wanna uplift the acupuncture, like, it
Mm,
was called the 5-point protocol,
mm,
and it was an acupuncture practice that was created by the Black Panthers during the time of, like especially, like, back in, like, the mid-60s, late 60s, early 70s,
mhm,
when government was, like, negligent
mhm,
about, like, protecting, like, Black folks who were overdosing, there was no, like, system in place, there was no
mhm.
aid, mind you, they pumped them drugs into them communities.
Right,
So,
right.
like, the Black Panthers connected, I believe, with, like, an acupuncturist from, like was it Southeast Asia or
Yeah,
th
most likely. They, like,
they learned from them.
yeah, they learn from, like I
They
think
learned
it's
from this acupuncturist, we'll get their
yeah,
name later,
yeah.
and they essentially, like, created their own detox protocol using these, like, five needles in each ear to do acupuncture
Mhm,
to, like, help you, like, process your detox, and then as, like, post-segregation happened, like, they used them to process, like, racial trauma,
mhm.
and so it was just, like, so timely, like, to be
Yeah,
receiving that offering at camp
yeah,
and, like, that care in a time where, like, we are literally, like, having organizing meetings, literally having security organizing meetings, which I, like, as an organizer for the past 7 years, like, having to hire security for organizing meetings and, like, speaking easy, like, speak easy.
yeah.
You gotta speak easy, speak low and slow so the federal government doesn't interrupt your revolution.
Right.
Like, it was just timely, and I was like, "Look at us receiving care from our ancestors."
Yeah,
And we didn't even know it until we got there.
right.
We just got educated.
Yeah. Yeah, something that I've been reflecting on too related to that is, like, lessons from ancestors and how, like, we have access to, like, read what they read and, like, then read what they wrote, and I think that's such a gift that I am trying to take more advantage of. I know there have been little, like, study groups and reading groups that have been popping up a little bit to try and make that more accessible for people, and I think that's been really great because it's like, sometimes you just need to do some popcorn reading with the homies, of some Audre Lorde or bell hooks, you know? And so, yeah, but I think, yeah, the 5-point protocol, the fact that, like, again, it's another example of, not only state-sanctioned violence and negligence, but also when we create our own solutions, the state coming and being like, "Oh, no, you can't do it that way."
Mhm.
And so I think it just take it as a sign that you might be doing something right if you are able to.
If the ops pull up,
Right, if the odds pull up, that's kinda like it's kinda giving, like,
you're in the right
you're
direction.
you're going you're moving in the right direction, yeah. So,
No, literally.
yeah, other than camp,
Yeah.
did we wanna talk really quickly about some policies, my policy
Yes.
baddie?
Yes, welcome to our new segment called Policy Pocket. You're now speaking all things policy with Fae and Martha. But Bush. Okay, that's our
But,
intro. Ow. No, okay, so some cool things going on at the city right now. As people can't pay rent if they're out here being terrorized by Gestapo thugs. And so we are pushing for an eviction moratorium. We're trying to pressure our governor to sign a statewide moratorium so folks do not get evicted as they catch up on rent, catch up on, relief funds that are being released at the city and state level, which, that takes a few months to get.
Mhm,
And so that's a really cool thing.
mhm,
Today, we launched Neighbors United at the Somali Mall. Shout out Carmel Mall. That was my 55407. That was my zip code for all of
yes,
high school, all half of college. That's 10 years strong. We essentially are saying ICE out, small businesses in. We are
mhm,
demanding relief funds be expanded to businesses who are making less than 200K a year
mhm,
because these mom and pop shops are not out here making 200K a year
right,
when it's your family running a business. So,
right,
yeah, you need to send us grants, not loans. And then I'll do one more policy to wrap it up.
yeah,
And then the last thing we're working on, March 3rd coming up. If you live in Minneapolis or Minnesota or you want to write in, um we are extending evictions from 30 days to 60 days. Councilmember Wansley will be pushing that forward at the city level. So if you live in Minneapolis, call your city council. Make sure they don't get in the way and they support that. And
mhm.
that's our summary for the policy pocket.
Yes. I also, this is not a policy pocket, but just something to name. I know we talk a lot about Minneapolis. I think I've mentioned prior, because I did just move back to Minneapolis. But I mentioned prior that I lived outside of Minneapolis in greater Minnesota. And I just want to name, obviously, greater Minnesota is a completely different world than Minneapolis. I think we have a lot of really cool things happening at our policy level, but also locally with mutual aid. And I wanna name that, there are some super cool people with some organizations that I'm working with, outside of Minneapolis and Greater Minnesota that are doing their best and honestly against a lot more opposition
Mhm.
because it's, like, kind of, like, in vogue, I guess, to be racist and bigoted and awful in the Greater Minnesota just because it's more rural and there's less accountability and less people of color. I mean, where I used to live had 3% Black. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think just holding space for them, and if you are one of those people listening 'cause, you might have been either people in my org that I work with, Alliance for Greater Equity, shout out to them, or, just you're just living outside of the city. I hear you, I see you, you're doing great work, and please share with us anything that you want to share, that you would want people to know. We wanna be able to lift that up too.
Yes, we'll be dropping things to uplift, whether it's mutual aid, policy, or any type of organizing that you're doing, whether in Greater Minnesota or the Twin Cities. We are here to support. We are here to do the good work, and
Yes.
that is all I will say.
Yeah, and we're here to dream together. And with that, we wanted to maybe
Yes,
just share one piece of either writing or poetry or art to leave you with, to keep you in that dream space. So,
yes. Welcome to our dream space, where we'll drop some writing and some poetry on you.
yeah, let's see. Do you want to hold this for
Oh
me?
my god, I would love to hold this for you. I'm
I'm
holding the
gonna
mic, guys.
I'm gonna flip through. Let's see.
Flippity flip flip. Which poem will we get?
I
Flippity
know.
flip flip.
I actually
Martha's
think
got a
there's
gift.
one in oh, you're so cute. There's one in here that I let's see, that I never shared or did anything with, but I think this would be a good time to. Um, okay. So I wrote this, it's just a short poem. It's not titled. It's just kind of in my writing journal. And I wrote it shortly after Renee Good's murder. Um, so yeah, it goes like this. In the dead of winter, she decided what she deserved to challenge the idea that humans could be treated like this. Like boundaries and borders were nothing more than ink on pages that burned, thick and imposing but devoid of meaning on their own. If we can believe that we each other deserve so little, she decided we can believe the truth of us in the midst of terror. Mm.
Martha, that's so sweet.
Mm,
Thank you.
yeah. I think yeah, I think what I'm dreaming about today is a world where we all believe that we deserve certain things and that we can agree on that. And yeah, I think we'll get there.
I think so too. I think what I will leave with is I also too am dreaming of a better world. I am dreaming of us being good, like Renee Good. And let's am I too far from the mic? My
No.
bad. Basically, let's all make sure that that happens by supporting each other, meeting our neighbors, and loving on each other. And most importantly, too, loving on ourselves, because
Yes.
a dream can only be alive if we plant the seeds and water them. So dream on. From Faye and Martha, we love you, and welcome to season 2.
Welcome to season 2, y'all. Have a good night. Stay safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.